This is Hoodies. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yo, let's do it. Yo, welcome back to another dope session of Hoodies the Podcast. I'm the host, the God Rashidi, coming at you live from the Skill Suite. Maybe not so live, but we coming at you. Let's put one in the air for Hoodies the Podcast. Word, let's get right into this, man. Hope everybody's good. It's good to be back. You know what I'm saying? You know the deal. Shout out to anybody with a loved one who's going through some things. Perhaps you've lost a loved one. My condolences go out to you. You know what I mean? And shout out to you if you got a born day today, whether you just fresh out the womb or you've been here a while. Salute to you. New life, more life, all that good stuff, man. Yo, the weather's been beautiful. The weather's been real. It's been real nice. You know what I mean? It's supposed to rain today, which is cool because it'll wash some of that pollen away. Not that I got allergies or anything, but it's unsightly. You know what I mean? It's plant sperm everywhere. You know what I mean? It's unsightly. It's got your car covered in, you know, pollen and you know what I mean? So I'm digging the rain. I'm rocking with it. Before we get into this, man, I got no RIPs to give out today. But I would like to take a moment to acknowledge my sons, man. My firstborn in particular at the moment, you know, we were estranged for a hot little minute. You know what I mean? We got our ways. I may have expressed that before. But, yeah, it's a pleasure being able to talk with him again. It's dope. You know what I'm saying? It's a pleasure to see him getting it together. You know what I'm saying? And then my secondborn, who's also working through his things, and young man's got a lot of wisdom. And my thirdborn, me and my thirdborn, we stay playing chess all the time on chess.com. So we stay playing chess. So I've been giving him work for quite some time. He ain't gonna like that, but I be giving him work. I be giving him that work. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my sons, man. Shout out to all three of my sons. Shout out to my grandson. Shout out to my family, man. In fact, I would like to extend some good, warm energy to everybody. All my family. Even if I ain't good with you right now, you know what I'm saying? Good energy out to everybody. I will everyone a dope day, night, life, whatever, man. I wish abundance upon everybody. I don't want no smoke with nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to extend that energy to everybody. Hope, you know, even to the people I don't rock with. Even, you know what I mean? If you don't rock with me, cool. I send you some too. You know what I'm saying? Take that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to hold y'all, man. Let's go ahead and get into this thing, man. All right? Let's do it. Yeah. Word. So since everybody's good, let's go ahead and do this. So just a few days ago, well, this past Sunday, I actually had the pleasure of going to check out this film by brother Ryan Coogler. Been a fan of his work, Black Panther, Creed, Fruitville Station. You know, yeah, man. So I went to check out Sinners. Found it to be a very interesting film, man. You know what it feels like though? It feels like Ryan Coogler was just kicking it at the crib one day, smoking, and then he thought to himself like, you know what? I could do that Jordan Peele shit too, son. Word up. I could go hard body with that shit too, son. Watch this. Watch my next movie, son. Word up, because that's what this feels like. This movie gave me Jordan Peele energy. Only Ryan Coogler one-upped Jordan Peele by casting Michael B. Jordan as the two main characters. You know what I mean? That's a hell of a one-up. Might I say the acting in this movie was incredible. Dope job by Michael B. Jordan. Damn. Extremely realistic. The love interest with that sister. Damn, I can't even think of the name. I'm terrible with names. I I dig that. This sister is not your normal, typical vision of a love interest in a movie. I think the twin brothers that was smoking in their stack. I think Smoke was the one that was dealing with the sister. You know what I mean? I thought that was a beautiful scene, beautiful interaction with them. You know what I mean? I really appreciate how, number one, it didn't take long for people to get what was going on. At least, the sister that Smoke was rocking with. Didn't take her long to figure out, yo, this is vampires, my nigga. You know what I mean? It ain't take me long to figure that. It didn't take her long to figure that out. So I appreciate that. It wasn't a whole lot of death until people figured it out. You know what I mean? The situation with the Asians in the movie, in their whole... Okay, first of all, I guess I'm jumping the gun here. Let me just say that, because I don't want to give too much away, the movie's fairly new. It just came out this weekend. It just came out. Right? So I don't want to spoil it for people. Right? But I like the build up. You know what I'm saying? Of how both the brothers, both Smoke and Stack, how they set things up because they wanted to open up this juke joint. And I guess I'm giving it away. Oh well. I can see if it hadn't come out yet. But I appreciate the way the movie was directed in terms of what they did. How can I say this? They gathered the community for the most part. The whole community, even the Asians in the community. I get to them. Everybody. They went to get the cousin for music. There's other old timer played by damn it. Why am I drawing a blank with this? Why am I drawing a blank? Delroylindo. Damn, I'm bugging right now. Delroylindo, who's I believe one of his favorite role was West Indian Archie in X. West Indian Archie. Then the second one is Woody in Crooklyn. Both of them Spike Lee movies. But veteran actor. I rocks with Delroylindo. Yeah, man. So they gathered community. They got music and went and got a cook, which was the sister. They got the Asians who provided the sign and all this other stuff, right? Very detailed movie, shot very well. I don't know which is. I don't know if it's this movie or Black Panther that I think every movie director, movie maker, movie director, whatever, has a Malcolm X moment. Meaning, like when Spike Lee made the movie about Malcolm X. I think this may be Ryan Coogler's Malcolm X right here. You know what I'm saying? Very intricate. I appreciate the music sequence when they were in the juke joint playing the blues, and how there was this music sequence where, for the most part, he went through all the genres of black music. You know what I mean? Disco, hip hop, turntablism, R&B, and all those things were spinoffs from the blues. Is what I got from that sequence right there. You know what I mean? Very genius right there. Very genius, very intricate. You know what I'm saying? Now the Asians, were also a part of this community. I believe this took place in Mississippi. Also a part of this community. I would say, how black folks always want to, make a movie to be a little deeper than what it is. Everything is all subjective. 1 minute some people could feel this way, that person, it's all subjective. Everybody will gather what they gather from things, people, situations, from songs, whatever. So my take is in this film that the Asians in the film were kind of like the bridge between white folk and black folk, if you will. You know what I mean? However, as soon as shit got hot, I noticed the Asians tended to separated themselves from whatever the black folks was going through. Once this whole vampire situation started popping up, that's when the Asians was just kind of like, yo, this ain't got shit to do with us. Then all of a sudden they wanted to defect from said community. You know what I'm saying? And of course, well, I don't know. At first I was feeling some type of way about, I forget the lady's name, one of the Asian wife or whatever. If you see the movie, you maybe you can answer that. When she actually said, "Come on in," which is in a little sidebar. I also like how this movie fell in line with traditional vampire shit. You know, what's the one thing, the common thread with vampires throughout all the vampire movies, whether it's like a B movie, low budget movie, which is a B movie, or major film, the ones that go straight to DVD. Well, it's not DVDs anymore, but now the ones that go straight to Amazon or Hulu or whatever. If you notice, the common thread is vampires cannot enter a dwelling unless they're invited. Unless they are invited. That's kind of been the common thread. I remember this movie Fright Night back in the 80s. And that was the first time I began to realize that vampires can't enter a home or whatever. A home, a club, a juke joint, as in this case, unless they are invited. Right? So, end of sidebar. So back over, I'm kind of all over the place, but you know exactly what I'm talking about if you were to see the movie. And but anyway, the Asian wife yells, "Well, come on in," because she's pissed off because they threatened to kill her daughter and this, that, and the third. So she lets everybody in. Thought that was a bit selfish, but I get it. They were threatening her kid. But again, you know, everybody want to be black to the time to be black. That's what I got from that. You know what I'm saying? You know, that may even be a reach, but it's all subjective. This movie kind of gave me Jordan Peele vibes, like Get Out vibes, like there were little Easter eggs here and there. You know what I mean? I think gathering the community. They actually went out to the community to, you know, gain everyone's interest in coming to this grand opening of the juke joint. They had the two musicians, Sammy and Delroylindo's character, forget the character's name, play out in front of, I don't know, out in the street to garner some interest in showing up to the juke joint. I think that was some symbolism there. Like, yo, if we want something great, then we've got to work together and build together. You know, I believe there's also even in, was it a African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go far, go together. Something like that. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while since, you know what I mean? It's been a while. So yeah, now with the vampire, the original vampire, white dude, of course, white dude. Now I would say that, the the head vampire dude was symbolic of white supremacy. I would say that, but his first two victims were white folk. He got them first before he started tapping in with black folk. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't use that right there. So perhaps that white man is symbolic of government. You know what I'm saying? Government. It might be a reach. And listen, speaking of Sammy, who's referred to as like the preacher's son or something like that in this movie, his pop is played by a great poet by the name of Saul Williams. Yeah, man, I first discovered Saul Williams in his movie called Slam. Back in the early 2000s. Maybe even earlier than that. No, earlier than that, in the late 1990s. It was this movie called Slam. I don't think it actually came out in theaters. You know what I mean? But I definitely had it. That's when Blockbuster was popping. I think I went and rented it from Blockbuster. It was called Slam. It was like a spoken word joint. And man, I saw Saul Williams in some movie called, that also made it to Amazon. So that too was not released in. But now you see him here in Sinners playing, a preacher. Movie was well made, man. Very well made, very detailed. I'm trying to think of some other symbolisms in this movie. You know what I mean? Because there's something to the vampire taking on the history of everybody it bit. Once it bites you, it knows everything about you, every place you've been, how you feel, the whole nine. And for whatever reasons, he was very animate about getting the preacher's son. You know what I mean? Maybe there's some religious ties in there. But now you could say that, right? You could say that, but around the end of the movie when they were in the water and the vampire's surely getting ready to kill Sammy because he finally got his hands on Sammy, the preacher's kid. And as it seems as though death is imminent, the young man starts to say the Lord's Prayer. Isn't that what it's called? The Lord's Prayer? Thy Father, thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So the vampire, along with all the others that it bit, started to say the same thing along with him as he recited the Lord's Prayer. That, however, was not the deciding factor in getting rid of or of conquering the vampire or killing the vampire. I mean, ultimately it was the son, but the vampire didn't go down until Sammy, the young man, hit him with the guitar. So perhaps the symbolism is in the guitar. Another possible reach. But this my shit. It's all subjective, right? So fuck it, I'm gonna say it with my chest. Symbolism is in the guitar. It's in the guitar. You know what I mean? Again, I love the love interest with Stacks and that sister. Damn, I can't think of the damn name. Part of me wants to Google the characters' names in Sinners. Hold on real quick, y'all. I want to see something. All right. What? All right, hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let's get these names right. All right, this ain't helping. This ain't helping. Hold on, y'all. Characters. All right, sheesh. All right, delroylindo. Okay, delroylindo's character played Delta Slim. That was his name. Delta Slim. And Saul Williams' character plays the preacher Jedediah, right? Annie, that's her name. The sister Annie, the sister that played Annie in the movie. She has a native name, is Wunmi Mosaku. Dope. Yeah, and hold on. I was looking for the Asian wives. But anyway, Annie, that's her name. So yeah, I appreciated that. I appreciated having a dark-skinned sister in the movie. I appreciate Ryan Coogler going with, a sister, not no questionable looking sister. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just good to see black romance, black love, black passion on the big screen. I think that's dope. And not your typical looking black folk. Let's get some everyday, more common black folk to represent that in film. So I thought that was genius. The whole juke joint scene, the music, the blues, man, great film. This man, there's something else I want to say, but I think I've said enough, man. I'm sure you can find your fair share of movie reviews on YouTube. I've come across a couple myself of some folk that went really, really deep. But I found the symbolism with the Asian, with the few Asians that was in the movie, and the symbolism of black unity, if you will, community. How about that? And then again, I said I like how it didn't take forever for everybody to catch on. Like, yo, hold on, why the fuck? Because some of the folk along with Smoking Stack and in the juke joint, a lot of them got bit too. So this big motherfucker who played in Get Rich, Die Trying, all that, I forget his name. His name was Cornbread in the film. So he gets bit, comes back. All of a sudden, this nigga need permission to get inside the juke joint. But what I'm saying is, right off rip, they caught on to that. Like, hold on, hold on, nigga. Your big ass been coming in and out of here all damn night. Now all of a sudden you need to be invited in. And Annie caught that shit right off rip. See, Annie, I think there's a scene when her and Smoke, at her crib. I don't want to call it a shack, but it kind of resembled that. And in there, she would mix up mojo and herbs and shit like that. So she's probably seen some things. She's probably clairvoyant. I think that may be what they're saying without saying it. So right off rip, she caught on to that. And then also like how everybody fucking listened. Didn't take a whole bunch of people to die for everybody on the inside to catch on. It didn't take a lot for them to catch on. So I appreciated that. And it was quick with it. It wasn't a bunch of dumb niggas. It was caught on to that shit. Yo, we peep you. We smell that shit. We picking up what you putting down. I like that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe in another episode, because I want to put two and two together about how, because once, the head vampire turns you into a vampire, now you know what he knows. Everybody just knows. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, which is why I'm thinking maybe that's symbolism for government, or maybe, just like in Get Out, with them taking people's brain and eyes. I saw that as symbolism, talking about organ trafficking, organ harvesting. That's what popped out with me. A lot of filmmakers keep these Easter eggs in films. Either that, or we just driving ourselves crazy trying to decipher some shit that's not there. And nah. I can never say it enough. Pretty dope film, and I recommend you all go see it. Go watch it with an open mind. I think you would be taken aback by the music. If you're into blues, if you're open-minded musically, blues, go watch the film with an open mind. You may see some things deeper than anything I just said, because like I said, there's a crap load of people who's doing their movie review and as well. So I would advise you check them out too. But check out the movie, support Ryan Coogler, and if in his mind he thought to himself, yeah, I could do that Jordan Peele too, shit. I could do that Jordan Peele too. I could do that shit too, son. I could do that too, man. If that was the goal, salute. And Jordan Peele has got a movie coming out soon too. Who knows? Who knows? He might one up that nigga. But check out the movie. Word up, Sinners. Word. All right, so check it. Playoffs are here. Glorious time. It's a glorious time. The playoffs are here. So I'll put down a couple notes because I might forget. But listen, before we get into the playoffs, I don't think I said anything in regards to the playoffs. I think the last time I even potted, it was like the play-in was still popping off. And so with that, I'm a little surprised that Chicago didn't beat Miami. I had Chicago beating them. You know, I was calling them they're sneaky. They sneak up on you. But that energy didn't translate in this final playoff game. Miami, you know what I'm saying, made eighth seed. Eighth seed, and they've had game one with the Cavs because, you know, eighth seed plays first seed. Cavs put work on them. I ain't gonna front. I didn't see that game. That game came on Sunday, and that's when I went to check out the film. So, but Cavs got that. And also the other play-in game, I also expected the Mavs to beat the Grizzlies. But the Grizzlies made easy work of them. I was not expecting it. I had the Mavs coming out on top of that play-in game. You know what I'm saying? And now they've had their game one. They played OKC. Goodness gracious. OKC put belt to ass. Belt to ass. It wasn't even close, man. It wasn't even close. You know what I'm saying? The Clippers beat the Nuggets. They've had their game two, so it's 1-1 in that series. The Nuggets won first game, Clips second game. So now we got ourselves a series. You know what I mean? Lakers, they play the Wolves tonight. It'll be game two for them tonight. There's really not a whole lot to say so far, but let me say this, man. Let me say this. The Lakers better win tonight. The Lakers better win. I'm of the belief that if the Lakers lose this game tonight, which the game would have come and gone by the time y'all see this. But if game two, how about that? If Lakers lose game two, I got the Timberwolves winning this series. The Lakers better hope they don't get swept even. See, Anthony Edwards is one of them ones. One of them ones, I wrote some notes down so I don't forget in my phone. I don't want to forget it. But yeah, see, Anthony Edwards is one of those. He's one of those type of ball players. And I suppose he's not the only one. Anthony Edwards is one of those type of ball players that when he respects you, when he has a shitload of respect for you, his way of showing respect is beating you. He has a tremendous amount of respect for Kevin Durant. In fact, Kevin Durant is his favorite player of all time. Let him tell it. He will tell you that. Kevin Durant is his favorite player of all time. And it was an honor for him to sweep his ass last playoffs. Swept his ass. He also has a great deal of respect for LeBron James. So much, see, that's how he sees it. Like, it'll be such an honor to beat him. It would be such an honor to have beaten LeBron under my belt. And you know what? I believe him. I ain't going to get too high on the moment. I will say this, though. If the Lakers lose, I mean, who knows? I could be wrong. They could lose this next game and still somehow win the series. But I'm telling you, if Anthony Edwards goes out there and tries to do to them what he and the Timberwolves did to the Phoenix Suns last first round, I'm telling you, Lakers better hope y'all don't get swept, fam. And I like the Lakers. I like LeBron. I like Luka. You know what I'm saying? Because out of respect, Anthony Edwards wants to beat your ass. Dead ass. Warriors beat the Rockets. If the Warriors, I think they play tonight. I want to say that. I think that game 2 is tonight. They won game 1 against the Rockets. If the Warriors win this game tonight, it's most likely they just might win the series. This is one of those instances where sometimes experience trumps talent. In this case, experience is trumping talent because, I mean, it's not to say that Golden State is no longer talented, but they're older and more experienced. While the Houston Rockets, them some youngins. Those are all young dudes. They haven't been battle tested like a lot of those players in Golden State. You know, Jimmy's been battle tested. He's gone from being a play-in team, eighth seed, and made it all the way to the finals. He didn't win, but you can't tell me he's not battle tested. Or Draymond, Steph, of course, and the rest of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they win tonight. I'm of the belief it's a wrap because they're playing in Houston. Don't fuck around and let them go back to Golden State and play you. Y'all may hope y'all don't get swept. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Cavs beat Miami. That was expected. Celtics beat Orlando Magic. That's expected. It's not much to say there. I would advise the Celtics to not sleep on Orlando because if you notice in Game 1, Orlando and them dudes, they had a little bit of light to where Boston was looking a little iffy. And you know what it is when a team gets a little bit of light, just a little bit of light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Y'all know, I don't even know the words, but you don't want to get them no light. Not like that. So don't sleep. We blew them out. Pause. It was like 100 and something to like 80 something, early 80s. I forget the score. But it wasn't easy is my point. So, I don't know, man. They made, I don't know. They may decide to try to hone in to what was working when they was able to, you know what I'm saying? When they were beating the Celtics. Maybe they can tap into that again. So don't sleep. That would be my advice to Tay. You know what I'm saying? Jaylen Brown, Horford, Pritchard, and all of them. I haven't seen Kata play yet. You know, maybe he's going to be like a secret weapon or something like that. You know what I mean? The Bucks got handled by the Pacers. Maybe that'll change now because Damian Lillard, Dame Dollar, he'll be back. I think Game 2 is tonight. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if Damian Lillard is the deciding factor. Keep in mind, though, Damian Lillard hasn't played for a while because he's got a blood clot, I think, in his some kind of thrombosis type thing. I want to say in his calf or something like that. So he hasn't played. So he may be in shape, but there's a difference between being in shape and being in basketball shape. So we'll see if that makes a difference. We'll see if that makes a difference. You know what I mean? And again, OKC beat the brakes off the Grizzlies. And I hear John Morant saying that, you know, hey, we'll never play that bad again. Hey, I like your style, man. I like your style, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not all that surprised because keep in mind the Grizzlies are an 8th seed team. 8th and 7th seed teams don't necessarily fare that well in the playoffs. Now I get it. The Warriors, it's a 7th seed team, but this is one of those. I don't know if they win tonight, they got it. But this team is seasoned. This team is battle tested. So this may be, you know, I don't know. This may be what's the word I'm looking for? The term I'm looking for. This could be an anomaly. Yeah, let's leave it right there. I can't find the word. But this could be one of those things where the saying might not necessarily be true. It might not necessarily be true in this case because of the resume of the Golden State Warriors. So we'll see. I believe those games come on tonight. Um, Wait a minute. So does that mean Celtics play tonight? Let me check. This joint moving slow. All right, hold on. So yeah, game 2 for the Lakers today. Game 2 for the Bucks and the Pacers. Game 2 for Memphis and OKC. Whew. So with all those games going on, that's all I see. Hold on. That's all I see. Everything else is baseball. That might be all that's playing tonight. But see, that's 2 West Coast games. There's usually 2. The Celtics probably are playing for whatever reasons. I'm probably not able to see it because there's usually 2 East Coast games, 2 West Coast games, right? Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, playoffs are exciting right now. Still early to really decide what's what. I mean, you could pretty much predict that Miami's not going to beat the Cavs. Orlando's most likely not going to beat Boston. The Grizzlies not going to beat OKC. There is, however, a question of whether the Warriors could beat the Rockets. Yeah. So yeah, things will start heating up more during the second round. So word up. That's all I got to say about that. I'm enjoying the playoffs. Hope y'all enjoying it too. Yo, who y'all got winning the finals, man? Who y'all got going to the finals first? Word. Yeah, man. Glorious time. It's a glorious time. And real quick, before I meant to mention this, before I pivot off of basketball, man, I guess this is a pivot off basketball. But listen, this just hit the airwaves yesterday. Shannon Sharpe is being sued by a woman identified right now as Jane Doe, who alleges he raped her multiple times between 2024 and 2025 during what she describes as a years-long abusive relationship. She is seeking $50 million in damages and is being represented by attorney Tony Busby. Yeah, Tony Busby is the same dude who tried to go after Jay-Z for sexual assault on a 13-year-old girl. That was dismissed. And so with that, I'm going to share on the screen a statement from Shannon Sharpe's counsel. He goes by the name of Lanny J. Davis. He's counsel to Shannon Sharpe. And so I'm going to put it on the screen. I ain't going to read all this. But some of the text messages would read, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're fucking me." This is by a young lady. So the Jane Doe apparently is Gabriella Zuniga. Gabriella Zuniga is her name. So y'all might want to take that, on the screen and Google her, maybe find her on the gram or something like that. But there's all kinds of text messages here. "I know you want this big juicy ass. $25K for each cheek." You know what I mean? Now, granted, playing devil's advocate here, doesn't say anything about his text messages, only hers. But I suppose all of these things were listed from his list of text messages just to prove that whatever relationship they had, sexual relationship they had, it was consensual. I want you to fuck me. Hold on, let me read off some more stuff because some of this stuff is kind of crazy. Wow. "I want to put my tongue in your asshole, then marry you." That's a text from her to him. "Only if you put that baby gravy in me. then I can do whatever I want. Whatever. I don't fucking know. This is pretty crazy though. That's my daddy. I want you to put a big black baby in me. So I'm assuming she ain't black to talk like that. I want you to put a big black baby in me. This is fucking crazy. But I get it. He released all these right here just to show that, yo, this is consensual. Ain't nobody whatever. So who knows? This sounds like a money grab. Shannon Sharp's podcast, Club Shay Shay. Sheesh. Club Shay Shay. Is it, I believe is being sponsored or is in partnership with Volume Sports. Okay? I want to say Volume Sports. I'm almost sure that Volume Sports. That contract, from what I understand, is about to end. So I want to say he's partnering with another sponsor, if you will. That may or may not be the correct term. But I'm saying that his new deal, if it hasn't gone through already, it probably has, but I don't know if it's pending or whatever. That new deal, he is expected, this is expected to be $100 million type deal. $100 million. That's a lot of money for podcasting. And so that's what I'm thinking. This is a money grab. Because those messages, if they're real, I'm gonna assume that it is, considering it's being backed up and co-signed by some legal representation. I'm assuming it's been authenticated. So that clearly shows that whatever sexual relationship they had, it was consensual. They didn't force himself on anyone. That's how it's looking to me. So, listen, brothers, if you're getting that bag like that, hey, listen, even if you ain't getting the bag, protect your sperm. Protect yourself. Dead ass. And I'm going to leave it like that. Chew on that for as long as you need to. Word. Alright, so I'm getting out of here, man. I think I've babbled long enough. Once again, Sinners is worth the money. It's worth the popcorn and Frosty. You know what I mean? Or whatever that is, the slush you drink. It's worth all it's worth all the sugar and the butter and a little bit of salt. It's worth that. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Cheat a little bit. You know? It's worth your time. You know, if you're into this sort of thing, vampire flicks, black film, black cinema. Yeah, man. So real quick, shout out to anybody who's going through something that they haven't told anybody about. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of those who are dealing with some really rough shit. You know, and perhaps don't have nobody they can trust. You know what I'm saying? I want to salute you for being able to keep it together. Once again, as a barber, I cut hair in this very chair. I make money from this very chair. This very chair. It's made me a lot of money. Right? What it also has afforded me is opportunities to talk to people. Opportunities for people to talk to me and open up. Like I said, being here in the suite now, it's a very intimate setting, so people tend to open up more, you know? And there are people that will walk in here, you know what I'm saying, clean, you can tell they're athletic and this, that, and the third, but there are people who you think would have it all together. And a lot of them are falling apart. They're dealing with some heavy shit, you know? Yeah, so shout out to everybody and salute to everybody for holding it together, man. And send y'all also some warm energy. And if you need to hear it, you know, you matter, man. You matter. You matter. You are important. You are valuable. You are special. You know what I'm saying? There's only one you. One of one. There's nobody else with your fingerprint. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know, I get it. The world can be a difficult place. Sometimes, you know, the world on the outside can be harsh, but sometimes the world in here can be difficult. That's why I said a couple pods back, you know, you just got to make sure that you're not seeing yourself through the lens of other people. You know, make sure you're not referring to yourself in a particular way, being hard, just mismanaging yourself, you know, based off what someone else thinks of you, something someone else may have said to you, you know, and that shit may have cut deep as fuck, man. You know, you just don't know what people are dealing with. You just don't know. You know, you matter, man. You matter. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Salute to y'all for keeping it together. Salute to you for giving it a damn good try, continuously and continuously, waking up every day, continuing to fight, to stay in there, to keep trying to figure it out. Word. So yeah, man, I'm gonna get out of here. I want to thank y'all for watching. It seems I've gained a couple followers. I'm liking that. Welcome. I salute you for choosing some quality content. You know what I'm saying? As I go on this journey and try to figure some shit out. You know what I mean? Try to figure out what my niche is. After all this time, you think I would have, but nope. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I could be a little slow in the intake. It's all good. But I welcome my new followers, and tell a friend, you know. Thank you for your likes, subs, and shares. And if you haven't hit the like button, I want you to go ahead and finger pop it now. Finger pop the like button. Word up. And if you haven't subbed, go ahead and finger pop the bell. And yeah, thank you for listening to me babble, man. And y'all stay up. This has been real. Until next time, I am the God Rashidi. This is Hoodies, man. Peace. Hey, this is Hoodies.